Alright, what is going on YouTube? This is your boy PXG Cash Hour coming at you with week 12 of the Pokemon Forever Association. This week we are fighting GingerxPug and the Mesa Macargos, our first battle with them, as we've had a couple of battles in the past with repeated opponents, so we're back to fighting a fresh new opponent, never before. So now my one concern this week is speed. Natively, Ginger had 4 pokes that outspeed my fastest poke, which I didn't even bring with me. So that alone is a problem. Ironically, out of set 4, he only brought 3 of them. Still a problem. I did bring in Mega Guard, Black Kyurem, Volcarona, Gastrodon, Nidoking, and Hitmontop. Guard and Volcarona are actually equipped like they should have been last week with specific sets. I feel like this time around my MVP is going to be Black Kyurem, as I did a lot of calculations, and I actually am bringing a set I haven't used in this league yet, which I feel will probably help me out. Now, Gastro and Nidoking were actually here should the event I would have ran into Mega Manectric, because ground, as we all know, resists electricity, and ironically, it did not show up. Mega Manectric would have had access to ice, so that could have been an issue too, but I feel like they would have probably been able to take it out quickly. Hitmontop here, obviously, to spin away some hazards so that Volcarona doesn't die as quickly as it did last week. Now, I was going to bring in, like I said, Tauros, as Tauros could have been my equalizer in terms of speed compared to the other pokes that he has, as, you know, slap on a scarf on that bad boy, you'll probably be fast. But there was a little uprising at the farm earlier, or the ranch if you want to call it. The mill Tauros were actually very angry. Probably at the fact that Mill the 4th came in all green. Who knows? Whatever the case is, I decided not to bring. Because on top of that, even outside of the whole speed factor, is the fact that I feel like Chandelure would have came in, which would have probably stopped me. If I would have been locked in because of Choice Scarf, probably would have been locked in. Sunday would have stopped me. Crocodile, which I knew was going to guarantee come. Crocodile is the current MVP, I do believe. It's currently fighting with Mega Heracross of the Syracuse Swellows as for the #1 poke in this league. Crocodile I know has access to superpower, and Crook hits really hard, which will probably put a damper in Tauros. So overall I just said not to bring it in. But Ginger does have 2 speedy pokes in Alakazam, Greninja, and Weavile. So I'm hoping my Black Kyurem strategy will actually pay off in stopping these. But overall, his other pokes, let's say Krook, Weavile, Greninja, Chandelure, Sock. I kept calling this guy Throw a lot of time, and I think I know why. And Alakazam. So let's see what happens. Week 12 of the Pokemon Forever Association. The Puerto Rican Panchams versus the Mesa Macargos. So Ryan issuing the challenge. So he leads off with Alec. Shout out to the boy Alec. So I lead him with Verwang because I figured I do want to get my stats up pretty early, just in case. And I feel like whatever this thing can actually hit me, so long as it's not specs, I should be able to live. So, quickly Mega. He goes for Shadow Ball. I should be able to take it. Barely. So I go for the Hyper Voice. And I was thinking this is all done, but he sashed. And I'm so used to seeing Life Orb Alakazams that I forgot all about the Focus Sash sets. So I go into Gastrodon because I know I can't live another Shadow Ball. No way, no how, even with my up the stats. So Gastrodon was able to take, even if it was a crit. Rude. So now I decide to switch out just to test something that I do remember from a while back. So I go into Volcarona. There's the Energy Ball, so my hunch is right on the money. That this thing would have probably one-hit KO'd my Gastrodon. So at this point, I don't feel like Alakazam has anything that can actually hurt me. He goes for the Psychic. At this point, we know he has Psychic, Shadow Ball, Energy Ball. So I go for the Quiver Dance. At least now I'll be able to outspeed it. And we go straight for the Bug Buzz. And Alakazam goes down for the count, and we're at a nice 6-5 lead right now. I do get some recovery off of my leftovers. Not losing because of Life Orb, naughty Volcarona. So bringing us Slippy, the Greninja. So I do remember this thing is Water Shuriken. I didn't want to take a risk and just go straight for the Bug Buzz. So I go in and there's the Water Shuriken. But now this doesn't answer the question as to whether he's fully physical or mixed, because maybe he could have just given himself to stat. He goes for the Toxic Spikes. But it's fine, I can clean that up later with Hitmontop. I go straight for the Scald. That's a decent amount. And we get the burn. So if he was fully physical now, he's not going to be doing much to us damage-wise. Got him just about already 65%. So he goes for the Gunshot. It looks like he is the full physical Greninja. So I go for Curse. So if you thought what he did before was very visible in terms of hitting me, this will be worse because it's lowered. Even though I lowered my speed, but Gas wasn't known for his speed anyway. My attack and defense does go up. So at this point I could take another hit from his Gunshot. But he withdraws Greninja. Goes into Nyx. The Chandelure, and I went straight for the Earthquake. And in one shot, Chandelure goes down. Thing could have been also carrying Energy Ball too. I think it learns Energy Ball. Don't quote me on that. Goes into Girahim, the Weavile. He goes for the knockoff, removes my leftovers, and that does hurt. He reveals that he's Life Orb, so I know all of his attacks are going to hurt a lot. So go for the Recover. He goes for the Icicle Crash and misses, so I take the opportunity to go for another Curse. So now we're at a +2 attack and defense at a -2 speed, which is fine. Because at this point I'm kind of thinking, what can I actually do? Because nothing I have really wants to take a hit from this thing. He gets the flinch, which is fine. So he goes for another Icicle Crash. He gets the flinch again. Okay, so I avoid this time. I go for the Recover. I don't want to lose Gastro, especially at this point, because I'm at +2 attack and defense. And I can tank these hits. So at this point, I'm starting to see a pattern. He's not revealing any other move that he possibly has, so I'm not sure if it's that he can't use them to hurt me. Like, he gets a flinch again. One more Icicle Crash. Where are all these Icicles coming from? God only knows. So, you go for Recover again. Like I said, I don't want to lose Gastro. And yeah, he's going to keep going for the Icicle Crash. So at this point, I could probably make him kill himself at this point. Because he's doing more damage to himself than I am. So I might as well keep... So I'm going to keep cursing. At this point, I believe we're at +3. Hopefully I didn't already lose count. +3 attack and defense, -3 speed. Like I said, speed doesn't really matter to me. Like I said, he's not revealing anything else. At this point, I might as well make him wear himself out. He continues with the Icicle Crash. It reminds me like that episode of Yu-Gi-Oh! Where it's like, Yu-Gi-Oh! Versus Strain, like, oh, you do this, I do this, which causes this, which goes back to square one. So we curse again, and now we're at a +4, and I'm not sure why he's just letting me set up here. At this point, he should probably try something else. The Icicle Crashes are not really doing much. At this point, he's hurting himself. So at this point, they're like doing about 30 each. This point I recover again, because I believe that one more Ice Skull Crash out of him is probably going to kill him. Just about. What number of curses is that? I think I'm at +5? +4? I think it's +4. I don't remember. I'm at +4 or +5. For anyone who's keeping track, anyone who actually counts later on, let me know. I think I'm at +4. And like I said, Weave Out ended up taking itself out. So now at this point, looking at the rest of his pokes, they're all physical attackers. They're not going to be doing much to me unless they have the strongest attack and stab known to man. But let's just test this out with Rook's Earthquake, which is a stab. It does nothing to me. So let's return the favor and hit him with a stab Earthquake. Gone. Kazira is gone. Here comes Throw the Sock. That's why I keep calling this thing Throw, probably. So he goes for a stab, close combat. He lowers his defenses, as we learned from the Mega Headcross battle last week. I go for the Earthquake. He does have access to Sturdy. Needs a berry. The Salak Berry, which raises his speed. So he goes for one more close combat. Not doing anything. So I hit him with an Earthquake. And Throw the Sock goes down. At this point, we're looking at a clean 6-0. The person who wasn't even supposed to be the MVP is so far is doing work. That gunk shot did nothing. The combination of the burn and the +4 or 5, whatever on my defense is. And Slippy goes down in one hit too. The Greninja. Announcer?
And there goes the battle!
So, it was actually our first 6-0 in this league. I really wish I knew what the other two moves the Weavile had. If Ice Skull Crash was the only move that he kept using. I don't know if he had access to Swords Dance. Swords Dance might have helped, but I think if he had it, he probably would have revealed it. I'm actually happy we got the 6-0. I'm kind of upset because I never got to reveal my Kyurem out of his sleeve. And I wasn't expecting Gastro to actually become the MVP. He was really only supposed to be there to take a surprise, not a surprise Thunderbolt, but just a Thunderbolt from Mega Magic who never showed, but as we say, it is what it is. Next week, week 13, we'll be fighting Vinny and the Los Angeles Lucarios, who are, as I said before, this will end up being the last battle versus the previous opponent, as the Los Angeles Lucarios were our first opponent in the league. From then and now, we both have new toys up our sleeves, so maybe we can carry on this kind of streak and to the next fight. Who knows? But we'll give it our best. This does move us up, I think, a little bit up from where we were before in the standings, but probably not by much. But at least it's away from like the finals slot. But anyway, thank you so much for watching, guys. I do highly appreciate it, and stay tuned for week 13 next week. Laters.